Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of the K-swap on my 1993 Honda Civic EG. This originally came out of factory with a 1.5 litre, 70 horsepower, and we're putting a 2.4 litre in there, and once done, should be about 250 brake. As I said, this is part 2. Part 1, I'll put a link in the top of the description if you guys want to check it out. And if you don't want to miss the other uploads, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It helps me out massively, and it costs you guys absolutely nothing. So yeah, subscribe to the channel. But anyway, let's get on with it. All right, so we're on with the EG, and this mount is now out of here. It was a bit of a pain to get out. The hardest part was there's like a spot weld right at the back here, which I couldn't get out with a drill, so I had to sort of chisel that and get it out of the way. But this is the new mount, and it sits, I'm not 100% sure yet, to be honest, but it sits something like in there, like that. Something like that. But what I'm going to do, they've come with like a bolt kit to bolt it in, but I'm not going to bolt it in. I'm going to clean all this up to bare metal, and I'm going to just weld it in so it's in solid, because I've had a look at the bolts, and to be honest, on here, I'm not, if you guys can see, they don't really line up, so I'm just going to weld it in, and then it can't go wrong. So what I'll do is get all the other mounts in, get the engine box in, and then once they're all in and it's sat nice, I will then adjust this to sit perfect with all that, and then when this is all sitting perfect, we'll just tack it on, take it all out, and then we'll weld all this in properly so it's a proper decent job, and yeah, go from there. But I'm still waiting for the gearbox. That's what I'm waiting on now, so as soon as that's here, we can crack on with the rest of it. Alright guys, so I'm on with stripping the engine. I need to get the intake manifold off, aircon compressor. I've literally just finished. In fact, hold on. Oh no, we're still attached, but that's off. I've taken the exhaust manifold off because we're not going to need that. Also, the gearbox and my brake lines have arrived. So I'm going to basically, once this is all stripped down and all the compressors off, I will be fitting the gearbox to the engine with my flywheel. And once they're together, then we're going to stick it in the EG and sort all the mounts out. And once they're done, I can really start to crack on and finish the bay, sort all the brake lines out, because I still need to take the rest of them out and sort out where it all goes in the rear. I'll get to that when it comes. So I've got the engine stripped down, I've got the gearbox ready. So what we're going to do is bolt this straight on. I'm not going to bother with the flywheel, the clutch in a minute. Get that put on there, and then bring the car down and drop it in. All right, so the mount is on the gearbox side. The new mount on this side, it's like a CRV mount that you have to change from the other one, because that sits like that. You can see it now. So that's solid. The mount at the back is in place. This mount is ready and waiting to line up, and once that mount is sat in here, it'll just be a bolt that goes through. So we're about to lift this up, put it in there, and see if this thing fits. Okay, so we are somewhat above. I think we just need to go down slowly, and then as it goes down,
we can definitely scoot you up a bit
towards me.
Yes.
If any,
I'm looking at this mount this side.
okay, my side looks kind of all right.
You're quite high off it. That's the issue.
Yeah, true. It is somewhat scary having this balancing above. Oh my god. Yeah, we've. I need to stop recording and actually help. Come on. All right, so progress from inside the engine bay. I want to fill all these holes, and this is what I've been doing. So I've welded, filled up most of them, and then smoothed them off, and then I'm going to go over it with a bit of filler and then sand that down to make it look a bit more prettier. Some more to do here. This bit here that looks absolutely awful, there was a bracket that was like glued on, there was a big hole, so I still need to have a go at making that look neater. I'm going to fill it with more weld and then sand it right back, but the other ones are looking good. There's surprisingly more holes than you think. And I've done all these, there's some down here. So progress is happening. This sort of stuff is really slow, it takes a while, but hopefully by the time it's all done, it'll look less holy. Alright guys, so I'm on with the next job. I need to remove these old radiator mounts. These ones were for the aircon radiator, so I need to get all of them removed. And I have my radiator, and I need to put the mounts where these two are, because that's a Honda Civic radiator. So I'm gonna remove these two, try and use them. If they're too rusty, then I'll have to make some new ones. But hopefully I'll get away with using them. Get rid of them too. So take them off and then center them roughly where I want them to go, and then test fit it and try and get the radiator on and done. And once they're on and done, I can weld them in place and then I can paint all the engine bay. So that's something I definitely want to get done before I do any more. Okay, so I got all these brackets removed, and I've got the old ones that I'm going to just put in the new homes where these lines are. So that one's going to go there, and this one, well, there it is a bit of an angle, but it shouldn't matter too much. So I'm going to get them tacked on now and then test fit the radiator. Alright, so the mounts are done and the radiator is sat in. The only thing I was concerned about is clearance, but with about a centimetre gap there, it doesn't touch the top of the bonnet. I just need to make or find some mounts that I can use to hold it in place, but overall pretty good result, and I'm glad I could use the full size K20 radiator. A lot of people do run the half size radiator, but I wanted to use what it came out of from factory, so we've got it in. While that's done, I'm actually going to move on and do the rest of these holes and welds. This side's pretty much done now, and we've tidied up some of the welds down here, so it's looking pretty good. Alright guys, so this is where we're at. I've welded in all of these holes, and I've done most of the holes on this side. There's still a couple more to do, but honestly this does take a while to do, and I need to still rough all these down and then smooth them off and then get this whole bay painted. But the mounts in, all those holes are done. I just need a little bit more time to finish that off, and then I can start painting and stripping the bay. But with the engine, there's another thing I need to show you guys. This oil pump is out of the K20. Now, the thing to do with these is put the oil pump out of the K20 onto the 24. Basically, more oil pressure means you can rev it higher, more power. So that's why we're doing that. I'm going to strip all of this down and do a video going through all of this for you guys, so showing you exactly what to do. There's a couple of other things you need to do once the sump pan's off as well, with removing all the other oil pump. There's a bung or like a hole you've got to block. You have to do this when you put this pump on, otherwise you will have issues. So I will go through all of that in the next video when I get all this off and done. But for now guys, this is the update of the Civic, and I'll see you guys in the next video.